So every now and then, we'll bring up the idea that there needs to be competition in the video game space so that we, the gamers, get better products. We kind of bring it up more and more when it comes to video game consoles, but I mean, the same works for really any video game genres, or like, Madden. Madden has become the best example of what happens if there is no competition around something like football. Yeah, it's gotten worse. People have started to notice this, and it's odd to me because it's kind of been like this for a little while now, right? The trend has been going downwards for quite a while, but it seems like now with the newest iteration, Madden NFL 21, people are realizing what you get if you only have one company making a game for something like football. So I mentioned this in Newswave this morning, and we can go over here to the Madden NFL 21 Metacritic page. This is for the PlayStation 4 version, but you can see just how many user scores have flooded in. This is definitely getting review bombed because the game's obviously not a 0.4. I mean, it functions, it works, you can play it, all of that. So it's not a 0, basically, right? There is a game there, and some parts of it, people have said, are fun. There's the new mode, I believe it's called the backyard football mode, or what. It's kind of more of an arcadey style of football, but people seem to enjoy it to a degree. It gets to a point, though, where they start to notice more and more of the microtransactions that have been worked in, which, by the way, these games, whether it's FIFA or now Madden, that's EA's vessel for microtransactions. It's worked well for them. They've made a lot of money from things like FIFA Ultimate Team, and I think they're still trying to work out Madden and have that get to that same level, right, where it'll produce hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's kind of basically the same game every year, right? But you can see, a 62 on Metacritic for critics to be putting that score out there with an average, of course, is very low. Madden used to be a very good game. People might not remember this because this is a while ago, but like back in like the mid to early 2000s, Madden was like the game back then. Even compared to other games in different genres, Madden was actually super high quality on like the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, even the GameCube. More people played it on things like the PS2 because the controller just worked better, and it was kind of clear that EA was kind of, I guess, putting the controls around the DualShock 2 at the time. But to go from this 62 and this 0.4 back in time to, say, I don't know, Madden 2003, when we had like a 95 on Metacritic or a 7.5 user score, that's only based on 65 ratings, mostly because people don't really go back in time to do user reviews on different older retro style games. But then if we even go up to Madden 2004, a 94 and an 8.2, barring the super broken quarterback that was Michael Vick in the game, you pick the Atlanta Falcons, he's faster than everyone on the field. You don't have to throw the ball. You just tuck and run, and he'll just go for like an 80-yard touchdown every time. Barring that, it was a phenomenal game. But we get to 05, and EA started to realize something. They get a 91 here. There was another game on the market that was starting to get some notoriety. It was starting to put out some quality products, like, say, NFL 2K5. This started to really build up. Now, 2K, it showed up on I remember playing it on the Dreamcast specifically, but we kind of went up from the Dreamcast up to like 2K5 here, and they started to throw a lot of crazy ideas at the board, including having the game come out at $20. EA did not like that. And then on top of what I think was just better gameplay, tons of really cool features, like where you have your character and you like had like a house that I remember building up. They had the first person cam that was terrible, but it was still different. It was unique. Could have been something that they built on over time. Unfortunately, they didn't get that opportunity because EA decided, well, we'll just buy the entire genre. They went to the NFL. I guess they pitched an idea of being able to work with them exclusively and just produce one game for the NFL, and that turned into Madden. The following year, we got 06, and that was it for NFL 2K. Really, I think we got All-Stars 2K8 or something. It was with like Hall of Fame football players, and like that was kind of it. Still had similar gameplay to 2K5, but it was clear that they didn't go all in because they didn't have all of the current rosters and people would buy these games for, right? Where it's the yearly Madden game that people will just go out and just buy. They didn't have that. And it's really unfortunate because based on what 2K5 was then, I would have loved to see what something like 15 years worth of development would have given 2K, especially if it was competing against Madden the whole way. Like, both games would have been so much better now than what we have with NFL or Madden NFL 21. I mean, you can see it's to the point now where people are even tweeting out for NFL to drop EA. I mean, we have some just absolute wild things happening here. For example, this right here is a part of one of the stadiums. They zoom in and you can see Madden 19. Yes, they Madden 20, Madden 19. So we've seen this before when it comes to some of the different Madden games. This is just one that was pointed out in one of the Madden games, but it's not necessarily exclusive to Madden because NBA 2K had that issue on PC, which they probably didn't put a lot of work into the PC version anyway, where the icon, when you loaded it up and back out, look down at your taskbar, it was like the year before. So it's not like it was just EA. What that really shows us is just the lack of effort at times when you were the only game on the market in that genre. You can see here that there's a glitch where the ball is just like floating in the air and all over the place. And it's just a lot of people pointing out issues with the games, things that you figure would be picked out in QA or testing or just overall quality control are just not being picked out. It is very strange to see this. And it gets worse. See, look, here's someone recognizing that it's a $60 roster update, something I've been mentioning over the last, 15 years. I mean, it wasn't as bad. Like, Madden, I remember Madden 10 was pretty good. I actually enjoyed that one. But after, I want to say Madden 12, it was Madden 13, I just stopped caring about Madden. I just stopped buying it. Then they had that weird thing where they called it Madden 25, and I kind of gave up on it. Basically, it's a lot of people here pointing out just how poorly created Madden is this year. There's one problem. I don't think EA cares that much. You might be wondering, well, why is that? I mean, couldn't something happen where the NFL drops EA? It's possible, I guess. Maybe there's a way out of the contract. There's always things left in there, like loopholes and stuff. But the NFL and EA agreed to extend Madden through 2026, their partnership. So we're going to get another 6 years of this if this holds up. And there's always a chance that EA could try to maybe put out one really good Madden towards the end of it and then extend another 5 years. Yes, it's unfortunate if you're a football fan, because let's say you do want to buy a football game each year. You're buying Madden. Like, that's it. Maybe it's worth picking up the year prior and hoping you can mess around and move characters around to make it work for the right teams. But it's unfortunate for the fans, obviously, of the Madden franchise. It's fallen so far. If you were around back then in 2004, 2005, when it was really hot and we had 2K versus Madden, let me know down below, because chances are very high that you have fond memories of 2K5 back then as well. Or you do have fond memories of 2003, 2004, 2005, because, like, to me, those were the golden years of Madden because they had competition with 2K right across the street, pushing them with a $20 price tag, pushing them with better gameplay, better visuals, an overall better experience and presentation. They had like the ESPN like halftime show and all of this. There's so many cool things they did to try to push the boundaries of the overall genre. And I don't feel it with Madden anymore. I haven't felt it with Madden, like I said, since 2013. It's been a long time. Let me know what you guys think about this one down below. Make sure you like the video on the way out if you enjoyed it. Just like it if not, and I'll see you next time.